Welcome back to another episode, guys. We still have no real name of this. Maybe put some names in the comments for the one person who's actually watching this. Thanks for watching. Right, so in this one, I'm just going to chuck this topic over to you again. Let me know if it's a crap topic. We'll just pause and redo or something. Basically, what do you think? I saw the in your thing earlier on in your like Destiny. No, I saw in your thing earlier on the Bobby Lee podcast.
Yeah.
Bad Friends. What do you think of Bobby Lee?
He's a really unique character.
He is, isn't he?
He in himself, his appeal is his personality. He's genuinely like very engaging, very wonderful sort of, you can see him being a very loyal friend.
Yeah.
But he's I love his podcast though. His stuff is brilliant.
Why do you love his podcast?
Because he's unpredictable.
Yeah, he is.
That's what's great about his stuff.
Yeah. Do you know? Go on.
No, his unpredictability has been harnessed by people around him.
Yeah.
So you can see why every so often he goes off on a bender every now and again.
Yeah.
But that unpredictability is what gives him his unique thing as well.
You can tell he's very loved.
But yeah, you can see like the people that he's loyal with.
They embrace him.
Yeah, they must love him to death.
They really embrace him. Yeah, they do. And like, what I like about him, I like how one thing that I found about comedians and comedy is they actually are quite technical. They are technicians in their own right. And in that, they actually do assess what is funny. They're like, is that funny? Can I make it funnier? Do you know what I mean? They keep doing that.
Yeah, that's the bread and butter of stand-up. They say the working out in front of crowds.
Yeah.
That bit I find absolutely terrifying. In your sort of naive assumptions that, oh yeah, I'd love to do that. And then you think what it actually entails.
Yeah.
Like anxiety times 100 and night after night as well. And you've got to put yourself through it.
Yeah. Yeah, and you might bomb at any second. Or somebody might just end your career with a certain comment that they make, or a recording of yourself nowadays. Just on the topic of stand-up as well, just quickly, might be tangent here. Mm-hmm. You know Baby Reindeer?
Nope.
Oh my God, you don't know Baby Reindeer?
Is it that documentary?
No,
documentary Netflix.
It was a series.
Yeah, TV series about some. Yeah, I know of it. I know that there's a lawsuit or some weird.
Yeah, all right. You know about it.
Yeah.
Basically, she's got a case apparently. Martha has got a case for like 120 million, and like she's got a valid case apparently. A valid case. She can pursue Netflix.
They're not gonna. She won't get that much money. They always end up coming back and offering them a deal because in the end, it all is about money.
Yeah.
So they give them 10% of what they ask for.
Job done. I'll be happy.
Well, like 10 million or something like that. Even 8 million, they'd be happy.
I'll take it.
Sign an NDA afterwards that they can't pursue a further claim.
Be very happy.
And they'll be happy.
Back on Bobby Lee and that. Do you know what I like about him? I like his vulnerability.
Yeah. He's the bit that I find more like the thing that engages me the most is his vulnerability.
Yeah.
He's willing to be vulnerable in the way that you can see from other people. They consider it in themselves a weakness. But he embraces it.
He embraces
That's his strength.
I find that really admirable.
Admirable.
I find that really admirable to be able to have even a workplace which is genuine and authentic, where you can actually.
He's a big advocate of therapy, though, isn't he? He's had a lot of trauma in his life, and he's a big advocate for therapy.
And he keeps that window open, and they keep discussing it, and I really admire that about him. I feel like that's really, really healthy and really good. The
tendency especially for men, is just to keep it to yourself. Like, keep swallowing it until it becomes a rock hard stone, keep building it until one point the boulder's too heavy to carry anymore and people have breakdowns, or God forbid they end up on the S or something.
On the S.
The big S.
This is it. This is it. And so I really do like that he keeps that discussion open, and I feel like he brings it up kind of often and stuff. And he's open about his like addictions and stuff like that, and he's sought help for that and stuff. Yeah. So basically, I was thinking about Bobby Lee slash other maybe comedians, maybe funny podcasts, maybe even funny films.
Do you know what I would love to see?
Go on.
A remake of Ghostbusters, right? But with Chris Rock as Bill Murray's character, and then Bobby Lee as one of them. Like, do you know the one like Ray Winston?
I didn't watch the new
No,
one.
no. Like the original for the black guy who comes in for a job. So Bobby Lee be the one who comes in for a job.
Okay, I think it's been ages.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
And then the two scientists would be either Seth MacFarlane
okay,
and who's the other guy who's always...
with Seth.
He's called Seth as well. He's always on the chong.
I don't know who he is.
He's famous for being on the chong all the time.
Seth MacFarlane and Seth Rogen.
Seth MacFarlane is the guy who wrote Ted, isn't it? Yeah.
The other guy,
And then
Seth
the other guy.
Rogen.
I can't remember. It's
Seth Rogen.
comedian.
Yeah, he was from that Orange.
He was...
Orange.
what was he in? Basically, he's a film writer. He's famous for being in films with James Franco.
Yeah, him.
Yeah.
Seth Rogen.
It's called Seth Rogen? I don't think he is.
I think Google.
Googly.
My phone is unavailable to me. Why does Rogan sound wrong? But it is. I'm sure it is as well.
Yeah, Rogan.
It does sound wrong, though, doesn't it?
yeah.
Seth Rogen. Yeah.
Yeah, so him,
Actually, yeah, those should
those
be
two
cool.
will be the
yeah.
professor duo who know what they're
they'd be good.
doing.
They'd be good.
And then the wisecracking is either Chris Rock or Dave Chappelle would be brilliant at that.
Dave Chappelle.
But he would steal the show. You can
He would
steal the show. They need
would.
some element. Or if they want to go proper full A list, Eddie Murphy would be one of the professors.
Yeah. Did you watch the new not Lethal Weapon? Eddie Murphy film, the new thingy.
No. not
Beverly
today.
Hills Cop.
I see. Do you know the thing is when you keep
I don't
seeing
like
small parts of it on TikTok, it's always when I see that, you can sort of think it's in two ways. Either the film isn't good enough and they haven't got the audience, so they're trying to bring new people in all the time, or like it's been out for so long that they can start generating, the extra views. But like, I don't know. I'm not seeing it to give a proper opinion.
Yeah, no, I don't really find it to be all that. Yeah. Do you know what? I feel like I found Chappelle funnier on his sketch show than I do in stand-up. He's hilarious in stand-up. But I feel like his sketch show was...
That's what he's most famous for.
He should do another sketch show, because
Can you imagine how much money they need to generate to give him another sketch show? How much money they give him for his stand-up?
I don't know.
It's like 3 shows or something ridiculous for 100 million or something daft.
It'd be a lot of money.
But he is like the number one.
But I feel like he should make it out of his own
pocket.
Not even pocket, out of own want to do it. Because he's that good at the sketch show, he should just take full control.
I think the other thing is that he did that before YouTube was a thing. So there is some element where how many stories can you take the audience that they haven't already seen? So there's not going to be too many of these sketches that he could possibly come up with that people haven't already seen.
Yeah.
So the thing with the Dave Chappelle the sketch show, a lot of it was the shock element as well. Like it was just outrageous, some of them.
Oh God, so good.
Do you know what I found the best?
So good.
Is the Player Haters Bowl.
I love Player Haters Bowl.
It's fantastic.
I love it.
Well, it's
Hate.
yeah. It's fantastic. So when they got to the awards one,
Yeah.
and I think Donnell's character,
Yeah.
Charlie Murphy's character, they're in some altercation. He's like, "You're so black, when you touch yourself, it is black on black crime.
Oh,
And then it's the next bit that makes me crack up because
What?
he's like, ow, and he does a spritz, you know, with the Jerry curl. But it's that little ow.
Oh, it's amazing. I love it. I love it. It's too funny. I really liked the crackhead in that. The crackhead was amazing.
Do you think, the problem is, I've seen so many of them out of context of the show,
Yeah.
just, small excerpts.
Yeah.
I haven't actually watched entire episodes back to back.
The crackhead was brilliant. He went to one of the schools. It was show and tell, and he came in, and then he basically teaches the kids where to buy crack, and they're proper taking notes. Then at the end, he attacks the teacher to get him money. He's like, "Where's my money?" And then she hardly pays him, so he takes a random radio CD player and walks out. I loved it. But yeah, that's basically. I was also. Is there anybody as a comedian who you think is not funny? I know it's tight, but
The thing is, if the comedians who are actually making a living for it, that you end up seeing on TV or end up seeing on TikTok, that have a lot of views, they're actually funny because you don't get a viewership to a certain amount that you're going to be exposed to it without you being funny. You might have it's not as funny to you than other people,
you're right.
but
So-
it's still funny.
Go on. So,
objectively.
anybody not funny to you?
The problem is I get exposed to so many of it on TikTok, like people doing crowd work. I really like crowd work.
Yeah,
I love
crowd work's good.
the real goldust of it, because that's still the art of it in itself.
Yeah, it is. Off the
They
cuff.
they don't know what's going to happen, and some of the bits I watch I watch it again and again and again. It's just the stuff that comes out that is so ridiculous,
Yeah.
and that in itself is funny. Not that the comedian is saying something about it or adding some commentary, but it's because it's so ridiculous, and his take on it, he tells everybody how ridiculous it is.
Yeah.
Plus the people who just for no reason just straight up and interject and just tell them I don't like your stuff in front of an entire room, and they're all right. And normally people don't say it out loud.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go home and cry now. Thank you very much.
Do you know-
You're gonna go home and forget about it. I'm gonna think about it the next 4 or 5 days.
Do you know who I really like? A British comedian, Paul Chowdhury.
Yeah, Paul Chowdhury. Yeah, he's quite good.
He's hilarious. I like what he does. His style's good.
He's got a lot of. He's got a masculine energy to him.
Yeah.
It's he's not timid in any way. He's very forceful.
Yeah.
Do you know what I find really interesting about some certain? I like the deadpan. I like when people are quiet spoken, but the delivery is so deadpan. It takes the audience 1 or 2 seconds, and then they start laughing
Yeah.
because it's they're not quite sure.
Yeah. Is this a joke or not really?
Is it funny
Yeah.
or is it not?
Yeah.
And I like that second.
Yeah. Do you know who I find hilarious? I'm pretty sure you showed him to me. Mark Silcox.
I need to see the face.
So Mark Silcox, he looks like an up and out uncle. Glasses.
Oh yeah.
And he's got a proper Indian accent or Asian accent, strong.
Yeah.
He is, no joke, one of my easy top 5. Easy. He cracks me up so much. His routine was just amazing. Do you remember any of his routine?
No,
I'll
I
tell you.
remember him from that TV show he was in with
His stand
Gus.
He's there, right? And he goes, I work really hard in technical blah 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 blah, right? And in this, I am always getting women saying to me, "Can you fix my printer? Can you fix my printer?" And there are women everywhere, and it makes my work very hard, right? And then he goes, I had to change my accent because my accent was very sexy, right? I had a sexy Irish accent. I have now worked on changing my accent to this one. The situation is now under control. So he's, oh, it's amazing. I just it just proper crack me up because he's like, he had changed his accent to a very strong Indian accent to control the women and decrease demand. And he goes, things are now under control. I was like, oh, brilliant. Eddie Griffin is, I think, he's an unsung hero. Eddie Griffin's hilarious.
Think of that. I only know. Do you know the famous ones? Famous comedians.
You know Eddie Griffin?
I probably know it while looking at him. Let's have a look.
You love Eddie Griffin. You showed me Eddie Griffin, as a matter of fact. You know a lot of funny stuff.
Oh, this dude, yeah. He's a famous actor.
Yeah, he's brilliant. American Eddie Griffin.
All I remember this one is when I think it's from the Gigolo film,
I think
where they sit down in he basically he comes to find him in some Waffle House, and they're in Amsterdam or something like that. And he's the skit is, how did you know to find the only black man in the chicken and waffle house? Like, that's like racism.
Yeah.
And he's like, but you are here. And then what the bit that makes me laugh, and it's that obvious, like the funny bit is like, oh, we're forever grateful for the Dutch to put chicken and waffle together. And he's like, you do know the Dutch started the transatlantic slave trade, and the outburst is mother earth. And he just the bit afterwards where he looks around. That I like that. No, he's just like he just catches himself.
I need to watch more of him. He's amazing.
He was opposite Cat Williams in playing a pimp, wasn't he?
I think he was in something, yeah.
I haven't seen Cat Williams in too many films.
No. But he's doing well though, no?
Yeah. But he's genuine, like, as a film actor, if he could find roles for himself in like films and stuff like that.
Cat Williams.
Yeah, he's genuine genius.
He is.
His interviews are unbelievable.
Podcasts.
Yeah, the famous one he did recently, where he basically dished the dirt on everybody, including Diddler, before anybody else.
The Shannon Shea podcast,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was.
His way of talking is so
Yeah.
like, it's almost hard to follow.
Yeah, it is.
It's his own such a unique train of thought
Yeah.
without any sort of barrier, and it's very
efficient.
It's not efficient.
No, I think it is. I think that he gets a point across with very few
it's
words.
very what's the word? It's very not elaborate, but like it tells a story in itself.
Yeah.
How he says the words
Yeah.
is more interesting.
Yeah.
Like it's so unique and so unexpected how he comes across what he wants to say.
Yeah.
That in itself is like, you can't stop listening to it.
He spent a long time reading a lot of books, didn't he? He's very well read.
You can tell he's a mind of his own, complete mind of his own.
At a young age, yeah, very well read. He left home at like 13 years old or something. It was basically homeless for a long time.
That's what I find most fascinating about these people who rise to the top of their industries, that come from very humble beginnings, but their undoubted genius comes out. They get luck along the way, but their genius comes out.
Yeah. I think it's a reminder to everybody that patience in hardship, because we've got so many examples of people who've go through hardship and come out amazing. Just stay
That
patient.
as well, yeah. But then it makes people think, like, if you've had a stable, like, in inverted commas, good upbringing, stable upbringing, you're almost thinking to yourself, like, in your sort of like greedy heart of hearts, why was I having a unpleasant upbringing so I can have a unique characteristic in my personality? That's the psychotic greed of humans.
Yeah.
You think, I wanted to have that.
Wow, that's a very interesting aspect. I get that. I get you.
It's a deep selfishness in people that you can, why don't I have this unique personality?
Wow. Which comes from a hardship.
Yeah, real hardship.
Wow. Wow, scary stuff, isn't it? The layers and levels. But yeah, he went through a lot. Do you know, like, Do you know in when he was making Friday, when he got the first Friday
Yeah,
film,
he was basically broke. He was living in a car or something.
he was
wasn't
living in the trailer for the film. Him and his family, wife and kids,
Really?
they would come to the trailer, they would do the day of shooting, then they would all get into the car, drive off, wait till everyone's emptied the studio, and then they'd come back and sleep in the trailer. And then they'd act like they just got there early the next day. Wild, isn't it?
That's the other thing as well you don't really hear about is people who pursue careers in arts, the first few years have basically been completely broke.
Yeah.
That's why people don't understand. You know, when you get famous bands, famous groups, especially modern groups now, because it takes so long to get to the first album, if they're lucky enough, they'll go through an iteration of like 4 or 5 EPs. Like they'll independently record it themselves, or they'll raise enough money during concerts to record like 3 or 4 songs before they get enough money to record the first full album. It's basically 5 years or 10 years. So that's why you've got there's like basically a time frame between 18 and like 25. You've got to go through this hardship before you get to your first, if you're lucky enough to break out. It's that first initial period. If you can hack it and you're doing the work, and obviously there's a lot of luck involved, and you've got to be somewhat talented to begin with.
Yeah.
But it's initially just a lot of hard work as well, and having to bear the cost. You can't do it with the responsibilities as well. It is a single-stun lifestyle.
Big part of it.
Yeah.
Jim Carrey used to live in his car, didn't he?
It's
Lived in the car for a good while.
similar stories where the start, there's a few years of just being broke as broke.
He's hilarious. I'm not seeing him in enough stuff nowadays.
I don't know, hit and miss. I find him, the more subtly tries to be, I find him the more funnier.
Yeah.
When I was younger, I found his overt slapstick stuff, I found that more funny when I was younger.
At the time, yeah.
But his dramatic acting is,
Yeah.
he encompasses a emotional range that is like genuinely really, really captivating when you watch it.
Yeah. Do you know what I want to see? Like, I was just thinking right now, just as you mentioned that, like him in Truman Show, nobody else could have done that. That's just what I was thinking. But then I also thought, I want to see more AI face changes in films. Like, I want to see Independence Day, but I want to see Tyrese play Will Smith instead. So they would AI it, they'd make it Tyrese, and it would basically be Tyrese playing that role.
I find the actual character that is the most entertaining is the Doctor.
Yeah, he was cool.
He's like, I think he makes that film.
Yeah. What's his name, that guy?
Oh, God.
Oh,
He's
in Marvel, isn't he, as well? He's in Marvel.
Yeah, he's genuinely one of the...
He was in the film The Fly.
Yeah. I think if he wasn't in the film, I don't think it would be as popular.
He was brilliant.
Jeff Goldblum.
I've
seen footage of him recently doing talk show.
Have you? I want to see him get together with Michael Barrymore. I feel like they'd get on like a house on fire. Him and Barrymore, I feel like they've got a...
That is another one. During the 90s, he was never off the television.
Barrymore?
Yeah.
Have you seen him on TikTok?
No.
He's massive on TikTok right now.
Oh, no, I'm going to look at it.
He makes like 5 TikToks a day, and they're all really good. Like, everyone is on trend, bullseye every single time. He's amazing. He's really creative.
I need to look at that.
He's like, this is my new life. I'm on TikTok.
Because he was on TV every day.
Everyone loved him.
And then he had the massive scandal.
Oh, yeah.
Massive scandal. Somebody died in a pool party.
Yeah.
And then he was just gone.
Gone. That's what happened, I suppose, isn't it?
I can't imagine how traumatic it was for him as well. I don't know any details about the case or how eventually it got... I think they said it was an accident or something, didn't they?
Yeah, I don't know how it all thingied.
Like he was just too intoxicated and just had a tragic accident.
Yeah. But again, like everyone, my parents loved him.
Everybody watched him.
Everyone loved him.
Blankety Blank.
Even I loved him. Everyone loved him. He's amazing.
He was like, if you think about
Barrymore.
the top entertainers in Britain in the 90s, he was number one.
Yeah, Michael Barrymore, beast. He was everywhere. And he was so charismatic and just so natural. Anyway, speaking of the whole pool party thing, Chandler from Friends, Perry?
Yeah,
Matthew
Matthew
Perry.
The doctors have been indicted, hasn't he?
Oh, is that what it is? I know that's something that someone's got done, hasn't he? That's what I was going to say.
He's overdone the dose or something like that. I don't know the details. Allegedly.
Somebody in trouble for it.
It's always the opioids in America is such a epidemic that people they mix the drugs. They got alcohol and then they'll have whatever opioid they're having, and it's usually like an elephant strength because they've been doing it for years. And then on top of it, they'll take sleeping pills, and they just drop dead. They won't wake up in the morning.
Scary, man. All that stuff is scary stuff. Like,
that was really tragic. That.
Yeah,
because you watched him. Do you know that last Friends
reunion? And he
was so slurry. You could tell something wasn't right. They made it out like he'd been to the dentist.
Yeah.
But even in interviews beforehand, you could tell he just wasn't the same.
That's the trouble, is the lonely journey which people have in their life. People have a journey which is just theirs, but it's like, you can't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't live the lonely journey. Bring other people in. Do what you've got to do. You know what I mean? Don't, seek your help, and people can help.
I think the thing with that is that the cast, they had such monumental success.
He could have.
Off the bat. Maybe. So that was their first thing they ever did. And they were the most watched. I think there's probably, there's 3 television shows and the most famous ever made, and Friends is going to be like either number 1 or number 2.
Ever. Yeah.
I don't think, they won't be after the top 3.
Yeah.
There's not many that you can say that are going to be as famous as that. That literally everybody in the world watched at the same time.
You know what's weird? You know, when I watch it back, not that I watch it back very often or whatever, but when I watch it back, like,
it's really, really well written. It's so well done.
I feel like Chandler and Monica get together much sooner than I remembered. They get together really soon.
Yeah, you don't realise how many series go on. And
they were a couple for ages.
Yeah.
They were a couple for ages. And I was like, huh? It felt like they weren't together for much longer than that, but no, they got together.
He was my favourite character though.
Yeah.
Chandler he was basically the...
Yeah. He
was the funniest.
He was the funniest.
He had the best lines. He had the best sort of situations as well.
It's him and Phoebe, innit?
Phoebe, I find a hit and miss.
For me,
she's genuinely the most. She's probably the most beautiful out of the 3 of them.
Okay.
But she's, I don't know.
You know that she went for the role of Roz in Frasier, innit?
Yeah, I read about that.
I think she'd got far. I think she'd maybe even secured it or something, and then Roz came in. Have you seen the new series, Frasier?
No, I look at it and I think it's just, there's something off about the beats. It's just something not right.
Yeah, don't watch it. I watch it in background, but I'm like a bit of a die-hard Frasier fan.
Are the original production team actually involved?
I don't know.
Because there's something off about it, because it's the writing isn't the same and the beats aren't the same.
I think, well, yeah, they've tried.
And I don't understand the story either. It's like, because they've done so much more with it.
They've really moved off. It's because apparently all of it happened the way it's happened because Niles refused, innit?
Yeah, I think he probably could sniff out that it was going to be trash.
Yeah, he's let it go.
So. I don't know. There's some element that when you have like such a pinnacle of television or pinnacle of a career, and then you leave it 20 years.
I know.
Is it? I mean, like, does he need the money?
This is what
Did they offer him so much money he couldn't turn down?
I think he needed the money. That's what I think, but I'm like, I don't know.
Because that probably tarnished a bit of the luster of it.
Yeah. Yeah. Apparently, they're going to do a remake of Cheers, remake of Cheers. Cheers is coming back, which is weird
I
because
never
like,
watched Cheers.
well, that's where Frasier came
Yeah, I
from.
know that's where he came from. Like I never watched it.
yeah, I never-
My dad watched it.
I never really watched it. My brothers watched it.
Of the early 90s, though.
Yeah, I never really.
I was too busy watching cartoons in the early 90s.
Yeah, I wasn't watching
Being like 5.
that. Yeah.
Not really into people drinking in the bar watching
Yeah.
How long have we been here?
Should we shuffle? Not been here that long. But yeah, we'll call it there.
Yeah.
Catch you guys in the next one. See you when I see you.
See you.
Suckers.